That flowing black hair, a storm in its grace, that mark on his arm carved deep like a scar. The wind seemed to whisper, the thunder that grew loud, a shadow of freedom that terrifies their crowd. The son of the hero, the father of the flame, a man without chains, yet shackled by name, it's Monkey Deadbeat Dragon! 38 years ago, Dragon is 17 years old. He isn't a nepo baby though, being a mere cadet in the Marines. However, unlike these other NPCs who are following commands of their superior officers without question, Dragon has a superpower known as critical thinking. So he questions as to what the goal of this operation even is. Like, the people they are shooting are literal civilians. His lieutenant though says that this is just a training exercise. Dragon, being a new cadet, isn't in a position to ask such questions. Bro is 10 years too young, he said. In fact, he is still in training, which tells us that this is Dragon's first mission, or at least one of his first missions. Now, those of you who have been watching my Dragon Glaze for over 3 years know that Balls Deep prediction was right again about Dragon being a new Marine in God Valley. And the things he witnessed on this island radicalized him against the world government. His father Garp joined the Marines 1 year before Dragon's birth at age 22. With Dragon's mother's origins being shrouded in mystery, there are many in the community who suggest that Dragon's mother may have been a celestial dragon, or at least someone of noble lineage connected to them. That's why he was chosen as a new recruit for the God Valley mission. This idea isn't just based on coincidence though. The very name Dragon stands in defiance to the celestial dragons, almost like a destined irony, making his opposition to their oppressive world order feeling more personal, almost like he is rebelling against the world he was born into. To better understand why Dragon is here right now in God Valley, it appears to be one of the original 20 kingdoms that founded the world government. This puts Goa on par with places like Dressrosa and Alabasta, both ruled by lineages with ties to the Void Century. It becomes more intriguing when you consider Saint Jalmak, a celestial dragon who went out of his way to personally visit Goa Island, which was highly unusual. So it's not far-fetched to imagine a young Garp in his earlier years falling in love with someone of noble or even celestial origin, perhaps a relative of Jalma. A hockey man like Garp, he needs a celestial baddie who is equipped to handle the hockey D. But since Garp's wife is out of the picture, maybe she is the reason Garp even joined the Marines, like a kidnapping or her and Dragon being held hostage, forcing even Garp to make a deal with the devil. Because remember Dragon's famous line from chapter 1096, a parent's biggest weakness is their child. Now, working to dismantle the system from the inside, that's Garp's goal. However, Dragon doesn't have these burdens. With Garp being in the Marines and his wife a noble, it's very possible that Dragon didn't spend much time with his father, who was out patrolling the seas. Instead, what he did witness was the first-hand cruelty and corruption embedded within Goa Kingdom's rigid class system. From the lavish lifestyle of the nobles in the high town to the dehumanizing poverty of the Great Terminal, he experienced the world's harsh reality from the very bottom. Garp, despite his distance, returned home occasionally and tried instilling marine values onto his son, just as he would later with Luffy and Ace. But unlike them, Dragon followed his father's path, believing in the hype of the Navy, and enlisted at age 17, which brings us to God Valley. When an elderly man gets hit for simply asking what's happening, Dragon is taken aback, screaming that these are just ordinary people, yet the higher up Marine just tells him to stop questioning it. Dragon's job now is just to follow orders like a dog. This is a hint towards my theorized rivalry between Dragon and Akainu, and Oda choosing to paint Dragon not following orders as one of the earliest depictions of him being a Marine showcases that the two Marines chose two separate paths of justice, because as we all know, they both are 55 years old right now. While Akainu's absolute justice blamed the Rock's pirates for causing the incident at God Valley, Dragon saw the deeper message within the chaos, like bro lived it. Rock's true goal was to destroy the celestial dragons and remake the world. Despite being labeled a criminal, his ideology of freedom resonated with the oppressed. To the Marines and Akainu, Rock's was a threat to peace and order. But to Dragon, the question lingered. Who are the real villains after God Valley? Especially since we find out later in the chapter about the real reason Rock's came to God Valley. The villains are the world government, who are literally gassing the civilians. Oda shoves Dragon finding the dark truth in our face as he follows a trail of blood into the room where Shanks' dying mother is, alongside a cell with a captured Blackbeard and his mother. Shanks' mother begs Dragon to save her twins and likely reveals the true plans Garling has for this island. Dragon, hearing this, will be completely shell-shocked next chapter. He has been an accessory to this heinous, the G word. At this moment, Shanks' mother will also reveal her special lineage, because there is a bigger reason Shanks is known as the child of destiny, and I don't see Garling giving his seed to a random baddie. Plus, if she was just a random girl, why would Oda choose to hide her face? Garling visited this island and rizzed up this red-haired baddie, or maybe he just forced her to do the deed. You know, who knows? These are celestials. They're maniacs. And then he left to get some milk, likely not realizing that she got pregnant. Or rather, he was waiting to come grab his kids during the Celestial Hunger Games 2 years later. Both Shanks and Shamrock are shown to be taken care of by the island natives. It's possible that due to the history of God Valley, this girl Garling smashed had some special lineage. Dragon will make up his mind, eating one of the fruits at God Valley, which will be the wind fruit of the rain god. He will put Shanks inside the devil fruit prize box to keep the boy safe and hand it over to the Roger pirates, whom he trusts after God Valley. The winds of fate carry the child of destiny to Roger, leading to Shanks saving Dragon's son, the one who will bring dawn to the world. The God Valley incident was the first to show Dragon that the true enemy of the world aren't pirates or marines, but rather the system which enslaved the world and called it peace. While at the same time, Akainu would view this incident as a glorious victory for the justice of the Marines. It further validated his reason for joining this cause, as Rock's the strongest pirate's defeat cemented the Marines' strength. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and get some gamer subs, guys. Helps us out a lot.